Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Buffalo Bills versus Miami Dolphins Week 17 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I like to collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between various data points. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So, starting with this matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data is essentially the basics. It deals with the offense, the defense, and the special teams in terms of overall macro statistical data for the teams. And based on this overall data, the Buffalo Bills are favored in this football game. Not by a ton, but definitely favored enough to consider them for the victory. So let's get into some reasons as to why the Bills are favored over the Dolphins. First off, offensively speaking, the Bills just have the better offense. They have better turnover ratio, meaning they don't turn the football over as often, and they also have a better offensive score percentage, which basically is the ability to put points on the board in terms of their offense. So in many ways, they're just kind of favored from that kind of perspective. The Dolphins, though, when it comes to sack percentage, they're more so kind of favored in terms of that, meaning the Dolphins don't allow as many sacks compared to what the Bills allow. However, the ability to put points on the board is very important to win football games. And the Dolphins have not done that well this year in terms of doing that, whereas the Bills have been better. And that's a major reason why the Bills are favored in this game. On the defensive side of the football, the Dolphins technically do have the better defense. They have the better defensive offensive score percentage, so they're able to kind of prevent points more often compared to what the Bills have been able to do. The Bills do have a better turnover ratio, better interception percentage, and the Dolphins have a slightly better sack percentage. So in many ways, the Dolphins have the better defense slightly, but the Bills have the better defense when it comes to just the sexy plays, turnovers and that sort of stuff. So the Dolphins do have the better defense, but the Bills do have the ability to create turnovers, which is definitely a big deal when it comes to winning football games. And then, of course, when you get to the other side of the field, special teams-wise, the Bills have better punt return yardage. Kick return yardage favors the Dolphins. Defensive punt return yardage favors the Bills. Defensive kick return yardage favors the Dolphins. Field goal percentage favors the Dolphins. Extra point percentage favors the Bills. And punting average favors the Bills as well. In terms of who has the better special teams, pretty much the Dolphins. The Dolphins have a much better field goal percentage. Field goal percentage is by far one of the more important aspects to the position. It matters the most in terms of, from a statistical standpoint, to winning football games. It just kind of makes sense from a logical standpoint as well. How often have games been decided by a field goal? How often have tying a game mattered in terms of field goals? So field goals are very, very important in terms of winning football games, more important than every other sort of statistical data point when it comes to special teams. And the Dolphins have it there versus the Bills. So overall, general sort of view, the Bills have a much better offense. The Dolphins have a better defense, but they do not have a better defense when it comes to turnovers and those other sort of aspects. And the Dolphins also have better special teams. The reason why the Bills are slightly favored over the Dolphins is because of their offense. Their offense is strong enough that there's still a very good chance that they could win it. And that's the basics to really know about this particular football game, is that the Bills are favored because of the better offense, but it definitely could go either way because of different aspects of special teams and different aspects of the Dolphins' defense. Now, When you get to some other sort of data points, so now we're getting into completion percentage between the Bills offense and Dolphins defense. In this particular area, the Dolphins are favored in terms of first and second down when it comes to completion percentage. So in many ways, the Dolphins are kind of favored between those 2 points right there. And then, of course, we look at the Dolphins offense versus Bills defense when it comes to completion percentage, where the Dolphins are favored on first and second down. So in many ways, again, the Dolphins are favored when it comes to completion percentage on offense. And, of course, the completion percentage data also kind of favors them on defense. So completion percentage is favoring the Dolphins here in terms of offense and defense. Then, of course, we get to first down conversion rate with the run. Again, this kind of deals with the ability to prevent first downs and create first downs with the run. Doesn't really have anything to do with yardage or explosive plays, but purely has to do with the ability to basically deals with preventing or creating first downs with the run in various downs and distances. And in this particular area, the Dolphins are favored on second and third down, between both those spots. So definitely kind of favors them there based on data. And then, of course, you look at the Dolphins offense versus Bills defense, where the Dolphins offense is favored on first and second down when it comes to rushing downs. So not only are the Dolphins favored in terms of their defense in terms of rushing downs, but the Dolphins are also favored in terms of their offense when it comes to rushing downs. So kind of another area where the Dolphins kind of win in terms of micro matchups. Then, of course, we get to passing downs between the Bills offense and Dolphins defense, where the Dolphins are favored on first and second down. So definitely kind of more so favors the Dolphins here when it comes to that particular aspect of things. Then, of course, we get to the Dolphins offense versus Bills defense, where the Dolphins are favored on first and second down. So definitely kind of favors them pretty well in terms of those two downs. Then, of course, we get to sack rates between the Bills offense and Dolphins defense, where the Bills are favored on first, second, and third down. So I don't really see sacks being an issue in this game because the Dolphins have not really done that well in terms of creating sacks, and the Bills have done pretty well in terms of second and third down. So definitely more so kind of don't really see a lot of sacks in this game for the Dolphins. And, of course, we get to sack rate for the Dolphins offense versus Bills defense, where the Dolphins are favored on first and third down. So definitely not very likely that the Bills will get a lot of sacks either, except for the second down situations. Then, of course, you get to interception ratio between the Bills offense and Dolphins defense, where the Bills are favored on first, second, and third down. So definitely kind of the Bills are kind of favored in terms of those three downs and distances. And then finally, we get to the Dolphins offense versus Bills defense, where the Bills are favored on first, second, and third down. So very likely that the Bills could get an interception in this game that could be a big deciding factor in terms of who wins the game. So overall, general thoughts and opinions about this game. I think it's going to be a Bills victory. The Dolphins definitely have a shot to win this game. As you saw with the completion percentage data and the running data, there are definitely some advantages for the Dolphins in this game. There's definitely a chance that they can end up winning this game. This, of course, is going to be at home. It's going to be a home game for the Dolphins as well, so that could factor into things too. But I just think overall the Bills have just been a little bit more steady this year in terms of a lot of different aspects of their team, and I think that a lot of those things might kind of carry them over in this game. That's kind of how I feel about this game. Let me know in the comment section below, who do you believe is going to win this football game? And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button to always be notified when another video is going to come out. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace!